What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm going to talk about my off season and a bunch of stuff from the off season. I'm going to be very transparent, tell you guys a lot of intel of teams that didn't end up happening and how I formed my team and how everything went. So let's start with the end of last season. Our Vegas Legion team definitely underachieved, I guess you could say. We didn't make champs. We really didn't get that many good land placings, but it's strictly boiled down to like our S&D. We were the second worst S&D team statistically. The only other team that was worse than us was Boston, and we were like the 5th best hardpoint team and the 6th best control team by like wins and losses. So yeah, that was tough that we couldn't win an S&D the whole year. We won an S&D Major 1 Map 2 versus LAG. We didn't win the next S&D on land until Major 4 versus Boston. Yeah, so we went multiple majors without winning a Search and Destroy. So that was pretty unfortunate, but let's forget about that. Yeah, so Vegas Legion, our season ends. They wanted to extend me. I was the only player they extended, but Nero was actually only had a 1-year contract. So I'm assuming they probably would have extended Nero as well if they could, but he was only under a 1-year contract, so he was able to be unrestricted. But Vegas extended me, gave me a slight pay raise, which was nice. But then I talked with them, and I was just like, yeah, like, because being on Vegas, we don't have a facility, so you never get to see your teammates in person until the LAN events. And I mean, if you ask any player, any team, or any coach in the league, you need to have a facility. You need to play in person with each other and scrim in person. That's how you learn so much quicker. That's how you watch VOD. That's how you know if people are focused. Because like we last season had to watch like VOD through Discord. Your players have to be very responsible, because some people could just be at their house watching YouTube on their phone, doing whatever, and just not paying attention. But when you're in person, you see the person. If they're on their phone or something, you're gonna be like, yo, look at the VOD. You'd see where their eyes are looking, and you can just tell by looking at people in person, like what day it's gonna be. Like, oh, is he happy? Does he look sad? So there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But I told Vegas, like, if we don't get a team that I think can compete, it potentially might be my last year, or I might not play. I might not play if we don't get a team that can compete, because usually when you're not paying the most salary as well, you're gonna get the last picks. Like all the other teams are gonna fill out, and then you're gonna get the remainder of that. And with not having a facility and not having the best of rosters, and then of course the pay also not being too good either, it was just like, I don't know, maybe it's time to start thinking of something else. But it ended up working out, so let's get into it. Vegas actually got, as you know now, got bought out by Falcons. But before, there was a chance that Falcons would have just like had the name Vegas. They weren't always gonna fully buy the team, and then they actually fully bought the team, and I didn't know if they were going to spend money and build an NA roster, or just have their EWC and Challengers team come up. Now we know that they went with their Challengers team, but when I found out, like they told me that that was the route they were going, I was still under contract with Vegas, and they're just like, okay, you can act as an unrestricted free agent. We're still gonna pay your contract terms out, because even if they try to, like Vegas or Falcons try to end my contract after it was already negotiated, or after it was already extended the next season, there was like a 2-month severance thing. So like they would have to pay regardless if they just ended my contract. So there's like, you could be unrestricted, we'll pay you, which is a really nice gesture out of them. But yeah, that was pretty crazy. So now I'm like, okay, I need to start cooking up. I need to see what players are available, what teams are available, because now I'm an unrestricted free agent. And you guys were correct. Rostermania was going extremely slow. Literally nothing happened for like a month and a half. Like, you guys thought nothing was happening, but like people were still talking. No, there was no one talking. Like there was nothing forming. Even the whole like, because LAT originally, I think, because the New York thing happened where Sib was a restricted free agent, and he was in talks with LAT, so he would join LAT with like Ghosty, Joe, and Kremp, I believe. And I think Accuracy was also gonna probably be the coach for LAT, and nothing was really developing. Because I was like waiting for something. I was like, yo, because usually you hear stuff like, oh yeah, this player's gonna play with this player and go here, but nothing was happening for so long, up until that team, the new LAT team that formed with Scrap, Hydra, Envoy, and Ghosty actually like came to be. I don't know, LAT got some more money somehow. Nadeshot took a pay cut as well to make the team happen. So that got formed, which is pretty insane. I heard Gentlemates like at the very end try to like just throw him the bag, like try and potentially take him, but then they wouldn't have had Ghosty. I think they would have got Priesta. They said on the LAT podcast that they would have just gotten Priesta in place of Ghosty if they went to Gentlemates. So that team happened on LAT, and then I was talking with Sib, because Dante and I have been wanting to team with each other for a while now, and I was like, yo, let's do it up, let's go. And he was down. And then accuracy, obviously, he wasn't going to LAT anymore because they got Sender and they already have Shane as the coaches. And so, like, all right, let's figure something out, because this is going to be accuracy's first year not competing in a very long time. He's retiring and he will be a coach. So super excited to have him on board and coaching, because he's one of the smartest players to ever play COD. We've seen so many people and so many superstars learn from him in the beginning of their careers. Like, you see Kenny in World War II, Pharaoh when they got him, Pred, Sib, Mac. Like, he's just helped all his players improve. And you can ask anyone that's teamed with Lamar, he's probably helped them improve. Even if he had games where he would just run to the hill and sit in the hill and have a couple occasional clutches in S&D, people love and always would gas him up because he's such a good teammate and he just cares so much about his teammates, his players, and like everything about them. He just wants to bring the best out of them in game and out of game. So we're able to cook that up. Joe and Kremp, of course, weren't on LAT anymore either. So our first roster we were trying to get would be myself, Sib, Kremp, and Joe. But Joe ended up going to Toronto. So Joe went to Toronto, and then we're like, all right, who's left? And then Nero was left, and I was like, yeah, well, like, we should definitely look at Nero. Nero's, of course, very talented. So it was kind of between Nero and then Mac. Because Mac was, I think, rumored to be with Carolina. He was rumored to be with Carolina and talking with them. It was just a tough way to look at it, because the team is myself, Sib, Kremp, and then we need one. Nero's super talented player. I mean, he literally like can just run in a room, get a 3-piece. Insane talent. Mac does have really good chemistry already with Sib, or Dante, and Lamar, because they teamed with Seattle for 2 years. I teamed with Mac in MW19 when he was a rookie, but like we were cool, you know, we played pretty well. We won a home series, which is great, but you know, like we weren't that close in comparison to like how close Accuracy and Dante, or Lamar and Dante, are with Mac. And of course, Mac stepped back last year. He had some personal issues, but now everything seems to be good for him and he's back. And Mac, he just, I mean, in multiple games, he's been extremely good. MW19, he was insane when we picked him up. Cold War, he was pretty good. He had a couple top 2, top 3 placings. Vanguard, he was incredible. Him and Pred were like 1A, 1B, like they were so good together. They won an event there. Of course, this MW2 season, they had like a couple, they had like a second place. They got like top 4 at COD champs. And of course, Mac didn't have like his best individual year in MW2, but he was definitely doing a lot of dirty work and everything like that. But if you go back and watch like at the end at COD champs, he actually fried versus Optic to get them, to like close out that series and get them to map 5. Then if you just watch some of his other series and past games, like Mac has always stepped up against big teams. Like he's beat FaZe, he's dropped 40 versus FaZe, like he's just took over the game versus the best players. So like, it's definitely, people might see it as a risk to get Mac, but for sure the thing that sold us on him was just like, he has very good chemistry with them, very good comms, he's a smart player, but he also has the talent to pop off as well. So it was just like all that combined just made us go with Mac. With Nero, super talented, but with like the lack of chemistry with everyone, it feels like we could just hit the ground running, because we already know how people are. Like Lamar and Dante are already super close with Mac. They know how to bring the best out of him. So we're like, all right, let's just do this, hit the ground running. And then Kremp, he was on LAT last year. They did really good towards the end of the season, and he was like a shot caller in S&D, very good search and destroy player. I remember watching, I think it was the EWC or something. He dropped like 27 kills in 2 maps versus Toronto to win that. It was insane. In the S&D maps, the 2 S&Ds in the series, he dropped like a combined 27 kills. So yeah, that is pretty much our roster. Myself, Sib, Kremp, Mac, and then coached by Accuracy. I mean, I'm just super excited for this team. I'm super excited. I'm so excited for this team. I mean, Sib, one of the best, if not the best AR in the game. He had his moments where he was the best AR in the game. The Major 4 run of him and Hydra was insane at champs. He was absolutely insane at champs. Just a super fast-paced, aggressive AR, always putting down damage. Probably most of the time, most damage in the lobby, and just like he's super aggressive. Mac, super consistent sub player that has the pop-off ability as well, but he's also a great teammate and super easy to work with. Kremp, he's like the youngest one on the team, like the least experienced, but of course just getting into a system with him, working with him is going to be great, and finding out like how he is. And then of course getting really good at search and destroy, because that's like his bread and butter right now, search and destroy. So it kind of seemed like a fresh fresh and good build for the roster. And do I have anything else I need to talk about? No, I think I covered everything pretty much. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm super excited for this season. Black Ops 6 is going to be amazing, and I just absolutely love competing. So I'm so blessed to still be able to do it, because it's about to be, this is year 12 of competing. But the more years you compete, I think the more you learn. Like, I learned so much last year about being a leader, how to be a better teammate, and all this stuff. It's just like, you always want to keep on learning. No matter how many years you are a professional, you keep on learning something every single year. And I'm excited to bring everything I learned from the past 11 seasons into year 12 and just get to work with a super talented teammate, a great coach, and then a great organization. Shout out to Cloud9 for believing in us, and we're here. Hopefully we can bring back some championships for our supporters and everyone out there. I mean, it's gonna be a really fun season. The game looks insane. I cannot wait for the movement, and the maps are always like pretty small, and for some reason my favorite maps are always the small ones, like Bokij, Fortress. I always just love the small maps, so I don't know why. But yeah, super excited for this year. You guys made it to the end of the video. Thank you all for watching and hearing me yap and talk really quickly for a while. But hope you guys enjoyed some of the insight and the behind the scenes from Rostermania. And if you're gonna support us this year or any other team, shout out to you. Appreciate you guys supporting competitive Call of Duty. And I will see you guys in the next video. And as always, my name's Attach, and I'm out. Peace.